Okay. Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Calora. Hope everyone's doing okay. Decided that I was going to do something a little different for this lesson, and we'll see how it works going forward. But I wanted to make a video to help you guys as you're working through these problems, to give you a little more of an explanation, because all these topics are new. Okay, so here goes. So we're going to do Thursday, March 26th, dot plots. Okay, so before we start dot plots, we're going to do the do now, which is a review of a box and whisker plot. So you see that here. We're going to fill in these blanks based on the information in the box and whisker plot. Okay, ready? So the first thing we have to fill out is the median. In a box and whisker plot, the median is always this center line right here that's inside the box. Okay, so the median is 80. The minimum is the lowest value, which is always this end of the box plot. So that would be 65. The maximum is the highest point, which is 100. The range is this difference here, the max minus the min. Okay, so you're doing 100 minus 65, the max minus the min, which equals 35. So the range is 35. Okay, quartile 1 is always on the left-hand side of the box. So quartile 1 is 70. Quartile 2 is the line that goes inside the box, which is always the median. So these are always the same. That's 80 as well. Quartile 3 is the right-hand side of the box. That's 95. And the IQR is the interquartile range. And that is, oh wait, here's quartile 2 and quartile 3. So the IQR is this distance here, from one end of the box to the other. So you do Q3, quartile 3 minus quartile 1. So Q3 is 95 minus Q1 is 70. So the interquartile range is 25. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and do number 2. And you should pause this video as you see fit when you're working, so that you can maybe try them on your own and then watch the video. Okay, number 2. Jenna took a survey of her senior class to see whether they preferred pizza or burgers. So you see here, this is the frequency table that we're given. So the question is, of the people who preferred burgers, approximately what percentage were female? So burgers is important and female is important. Okay, so we have to find all the people who preferred burgers, because that's going to be our total people who preferred burgers. And then we have to find out how many of those were female. Okay, and this is what fraction we're going to make that's going to lead us to our percentage. Okay, so how many total people preferred burgers? Well, 42 males and 26 females. So to find the total number of people who preferred burgers, we need to add those up. So that would be 68. And of that 68, how many were female? 26. So this right here is going to help you. You need to set that up. That way you can find the percentage. So how do you find the percentage? You grab your calculator and you do 26 divided by 68. And that would give you 0.382. And then we want to convert that into a percent. Take the decimal, move it 2 places. The percent is 38.2%, which actually is choice 2. So sometimes in the table, they don't give you the totals. In fact, a lot of times they don't. but you sometimes have to find out what a total is. You might have to either add a column or add a row, depending on what the question is asking. Okay. All right, so now let's get into dot plots. What is a dot plot? Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's a chart that's used when you have small amounts of data and you can plot them using dots. Okay, you can see here. So each dot is one value and the dots are stacked up onto each other into columns. Okay, so for example, hours of screen time per day, if you take 6 hours of screen time, this many people said, 4 people, said they spent 6 hours each day on a screen. So that's how we'd read a dot plot. Okay, here's another example down here. Okay, so the example we're going to do is we're actually going to create a dot plot when we're given different values. Okay, so here's the information from the table. Different students answered the question, how many brothers and sisters they had. So Allison said 2, Bernard had 4, Carlos has 3, and so on. Okay, so what we're going to do is take these values and we're going to create our own dot plot. Okay, so just go through each one and add a dot onto the plot here. So Allison had 2. So for 2, we're going to put 1 dot, which represents Allison. Bernard, he has 4. I'm going to put a dot for Bernard. Carlos has 3. I'm going to put a dot here, which represents Carlos. Catherine has 2. Delia has 2. Dion has 1. Emma has 0. Fiona has 2. Harley has 3. Ian has 2. Justin has 1. Paul has 1. Rihanna has 3. Stanley has 0. And Vincent has 4. Okay, so there's a dot plot, which represents this data here. So it's a little easier when you're trying to look at the data and understand it, to look at the picture rather than a list. So that's the idea of why someone would want to create a dot plot. Okay, so there's 2 things we can do with dot plots when we have to answer questions. Sometimes we can just look at the dot plot and answer questions. So we're going to answer A, B, C, and D just based on what we see. Okay, so part A, which is the most common number of brothers and sisters in this class? Well, which one has the greatest amount of dots? It would be 2, because it's the highest column. So this right here gives you a pretty quick picture. You can see the most common number of brothers and sisters in this class. Okay, B, how many students have a total of 3 brothers and sisters? Well, right here is 3. How many students? 1, 2, 3 students. If you wanted to know which students, then you could look at the table. Rihanna, Harley, and Carlos. Okay, C, how many students in total were surveyed? Well, how many? Just have to count up all the dots. So I'll write that. Count up the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 people were surveyed. D, how many students have more than 2 brothers and sisters? So more than 2 would be 3 and 4. How many people? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Okay, now it gets a little more complicated, but not really, because we have the calculator. When you need to answer questions about the mean, the median, the standard deviation, the quartiles, the range, sometimes this is complicated to do from the dot plot, but when you have your calculator, it's actually very simple to do, okay? So what we need to do is we are going to grab your calculator. We're going to be putting this information here into a list in our calculator, okay? So how do we do that? Go to List in Spreadsheets. You always have to name your list. It doesn't matter what we call it. I'm just going to call it X. Okay, and then we need to put in all of these values into our list, only in one column. Okay, so we have 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4. You could also do it from here, but most of the time you're not going to have this. You're going to be given this. So let's do it from here. So let's enter 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. How many twos? 5 twos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 twos. 3 threes. 3, 3, 3. And 2 fours. 4, 4. Okay. Notice I'm at line 15, which is good because we said up here we have 15 people were surveyed, so you should have 15 data points. Okay, great. Now we're going to go to List in Spreadsheets. I'm sorry, now we're going to go to the statistics mode because we want to analyze this data. So add a page. You've done this before. Add a calculator page. Then we're going to go to Menu, Statistics, which is number 6, Stat Calculations, which is number 1, One Variable Statistics, which is number 1. Hit OK. We have to choose what list. So you can just hit this middle button. There it is. Tab over, hit OK, and there's all of our data. Okay, remember reading this before for the other lessons that we did? Okay, so let's fill in. Okay, so the mean, that's X bar. What does the calculator say? 2. The median, I might have to scroll down for that one. It's right here. Median is also 2. Standard deviation is this symbol here. Okay, so when you look for that, it's 1.2, 1. Okay, quartile 1 is 1. Quartile 2, which is also the median, is 2. Quartile 3 is 3. The range. The calculator is not going to tell you the range, but you can figure it out because it's the max minus the min. Okay, the max is 4. The min is 0. So the range is 4. The interquartile range is, the calculator is not going to give you that either, but it'll give you quartile 3 and it'll give you quartile 1. You just do the subtraction. Quartile 3 is 3. Quartile 1 is 1. So the interquartile range is 2. So just keep that in mind. It's very easy once you know how to put the information in the calculator, and it will give you all of these values. Okay, let's try number 2. Okay, example number 2, this one was a Regents question. So they give you the dot plot, and they want you to determine which statement is not true. Careful, remember they always try to get you with that. You want to look for the false choice. Okay, so they're talking about median, interquartile range, the mean. We need to put this data into a list so the calculator can give us these values. All right, I'm going to start a new page. Okay, I'm going to go to List in Spreadsheet again. I'm going to label my list. I think you have to do that. I called it X again, and I'm going to start to put in the values. So I'm going to put in 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, and 6. Okay, then add a page, calculator, excuse me, menu, 6, 1, 1, okay, here are all my values. Go to your choices. The median is 3. It is, that's true. So that cannot be our answer. The interquartile range is 2. Let's check. Q3 minus Q1. Q3 is 4. Q1 is 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. That's also true. That can't be our answer. The mean is 3. Let's scroll up. The mean is X bar. X with a bar over it. That's 2.75. That is not true. This is false. Therefore, our answer is choice 3. Okay, I hope this video was helpful. Now I'm going to make sure you do the Google form where you can practice yourself. And as always, please send me an email if you have any questions. Thank you. Take care.